When approaching a four-way stop, who has the right of way? What does a yellow traffic light mean? What must you do when an emergency vehicle with sirens approaches? The main purpose of seatbelts is to... What does a yellow curb usually indicate? When driving in heavy rain, your tires may lose contact with the road. This is called... What does a red octagon-shaped sign mean? When can you legally use your cell phone while driving? What does a round yellow sign with a black X mean? If you park uphill with no curb, you should turn your wheels. When two vehicles arrive at the same time at an intersection with no signs or signals, what should you do if you see a wrong way sign? At night, when should you dim your high beams? If another driver tailgates you, you should. A double solid white line means... When backing out of a parking space, you should. What should you do at a yield sign? If your brakes fail while driving, you should. What is the move-over law in many states? What does a yellow sign with a black arrow curving to the right mean? When driving in a work zone, you should. The green traffic light means... If you see a flashing red light at a railroad crossing, you must. Which of the following is a defensive driving practice? What does a white rectangular sign usually indicate? What is the meaning of a flashing yellow arrow? The maximum speed limit on most U.S. interstate highways, unless posted otherwise, is. When driving at night, you must use your headlights. What does a red arrow traffic light mean? When two vehicles arrive at the same time at a T intersection. What should you do when changing lanes? A pentagon-shaped yellow sign with two people walking means. What should you do if your accelerator sticks? A flashing yellow light at an intersection means. When driving downhill, you should. What does a blue traffic sign usually indicate? If your car starts to hydroplane, you should. When approaching a roundabout, you must. What does a slippery when wet sign mean? When should you use your turn signal? When approaching a school bus with flashing red lights, you must. What does a triangular red and white sign mean? If you miss your highway exit, you should. What does a solid double yellow line mean? At what blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is it illegal for most drivers over 21 in the U.S.? When should you dim your high beam headlights? What should you do at a four-way stop if two cars arrive at the same time? A broken yellow line on your side of the road means. When parallel parking, the vehicle's wheels must be within how many inches of the curb? When you see a pedestrian with a white cane or guide dog, you must. What should you do when entering a freeway? What does a red and white "Do Not Enter" sign mean? When driving in fog, you should use. What must you do when turning left at a green light? When driving on a wet road, you should. What does a flashing red traffic light mean? If you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights behind you, you must. What does a diamond-shaped sign indicate? When making a U-turn, you must. When driving in heavy rain, your tires may lose traction. This is called. What does a flashing yellow traffic light mean? When driving on icy roads, you should. What is the hand signal for a right turn? When parking uphill with a curb, you must turn your front wheels. A pentagon-shaped sign usually indicates. When is it legal to turn right on a red light? What does a round yellow sign with a black X mean? If you refuse to take a blood alcohol test when requested by police, you may. When approaching a stop sign, you must stop. What does a green arrow at a traffic light mean? What should you do if your accelerator pedal sticks? A broken white line on the roadway means. What does a red curb usually indicate? When driving at night, you should. If your car starts to skid, the first thing you should do is what must you do at a railroad crossing with lowered gates? When driving in a construction zone, you must What should you do if you see a merge sign? What does a yellow slippery when wet sign warn of? When driving downhill, you should A diamond-shaped traffic sign is used to indicate when parallel parking, you should park within how many inches of the curb? At an uncontrolled intersection, who has the right-of-way? A red triangular sign with a white center means what should you do if a tire blows out while driving? When you see a solid yellow line on your side of the road, it means what is the speed limit in most residential areas unless otherwise posted? If an emergency vehicle is approaching with flashing lights and sirens, you must What does a double solid white line mean? Hydroplaning occurs when following a motorcycle, you should What does a flashing red traffic light mean? Before changing lanes, you should What is the maximum blood alcohol concentration, BAC, for drivers over 21 in most U.S. states? A white rectangular sign usually indicates if you miss your exit on the freeway, you should When driving in fog, you should use When approaching a school bus with flashing red lights, you must What should you do if another driver is tailgating you? A yellow line that is both solid and broken means